Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the Weekly Healing Circle. Today we're going to be breaking down this week's energies, which is definitely a lot. Before we get started, do not forget, we are going to Egypt in January, which I'm so excited about. Definitely don't forget to sign up for the... Let me just put this down so I can get TikTok going. Don't forget to sign up for reserve your spot to come to Egypt because it's going to be incredible. It's going to be an incredible experience. I'm so excited to get to really partake in one of the most amazing ancient lands of just life in general. And I'm just really excited. I'm really excited for the ceremonies, the rituals that we're going to be doing. Like, it's going to be an incredibly powerful time and incredibly healing time as well. And I'm stoked. I'm stoked to go. So definitely make sure you guys reserve your spot for those who are going to want to go. I got a sticker stuck on me. For those who are definitely going to want to come through, don't forget to reserve your spot. Let me just move my sister over here. Don't forget to reserve your spot so you have, everything set in place to come through. There we go. I am super excited to go and spend time with you guys and just do all of the things. Like, when I tell you guys all of the things, I mean all of the things. Let me just put this over here. Hold on. I'm trying to get TikTok situated, but this is moving too much. Does that work? That works. Okay. We're good. We're Gucci. Okay, let me go live on the clock app. Hello, everybody. See. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me see. Wait. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you guys hear me okay. For those who are on YouTube, let me know if you guys hear me okay. Because I don't know if the volume was on. Hello, everybody. I'm just sliding over here. Hello. Welcome to the Weekly Healing Circle. Good? Okay, perfect. I think it missed everything I just said in the beginning. So welcome to the Weekly Healing Circle. Just a reminder to everybody that we are going to Egypt in January, which I'm so excited about. Definitely make sure you guys reserve your spot because it's going to be an epic spiritual retreat. We're going to be doing so much. I'm so excited to be on the Nile and just to be on the ancient lands and just do the ceremonies and rituals that we're going to be doing. And just going to the pyramids, going to the temples, the food, getting to spend time, in Nubia, with, the people. I'm just so excited. You guys have no idea. So, definitely make sure you reserve your spot. There's still early bird tickets left for those who are going to want to go. So there's still that early bird discount, but definitely make sure you reserve your spot because it's going to be pretty iconic. It's going to be pretty iconic. And I'm just really excited. I'm super excited to get to spend that time with you guys and do all of the ancient things. I literally just filmed, which is why this video, the live is a little late. I just filmed the full moon video, so you guys will get that tonight. So stay tuned after the live to get that particular moon. But we gotta talk. We gotta talk about this week. We gotta talk about all of the things. The title of this particular live is "Are You Ready for Real Love?" And when you guys see the video for the moon in Aquarius, you guys will be like, oh, it'll make sense. Because for some people, there's a lot going on. And the energy is really, yeah. Bottom of the deck's High Priestess and the Moon card. There's a lot going on with this particular moon. There's a lot going on. And for this week's energy, as you guys can see, it's something. We have the Tower, we have the Justice card, we have the World card. So we got Uranus, we got Libra, we got Saturn, fun times. And then we have the Ten of Swords and the Fool card. So when I tell you there's some things that will be ending, there is definitely 1000%, without a shadow of a doubt, some karmic relationship stuff happening, like past life stuff happening, karmic relationship stuff happening. If you were like confused as to why certain relationships are like navigating the way they are, it's because there's an imbalance through time when it comes to your past life. If you are like, why is this happening now? It's because Uranus is doing some things with Venus, and it's stirring up some chaos, and now here you are having to deal with it. Fun times. So yeah, there's definitely some unexpected changes happening. You might be feeling like things are happening out of the blue. This week is definitely a like, oh my god, I gotta get back to center. I gotta get back to like getting my shit together. We're ending this week on the Fool's energy, so this is energy of like, wait, especially with the bottom of the deck, you see it. It's like, wait, I'm trying to enjoy the damn summer. I'm trying to enjoy the season. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to feel good. Why is this happening? What the hell is going on? This week, it's a little chaotic. It's a little all over the place. Feelings are everywhere. Uranus is doing a lot. It's definitely causing some turbulence. There's certain people that are going to be leaving your life. There's some people that like literally, if you keep going on the bottom of the deck, it's a bunch of unhappiness that's being addressed. It's a bunch of like, I have to moving into like Virgo season in August is going to be a process of, okay, I need to heal now because I kind of went through a lot and that didn't feel good, and now I'm kind of dealing with X, Y, C, and B, and I don't know, and I'm like frustrated about this, and I feel like I need to just kind of focus on myself. So there is a reset happening. You guys remember at the beginning of the year when I kept saying this particular year, and there's going to be a mid check-in point in August. I literally said that. You can go back to this year's videos to go check. That's what's happening now. Is the mid-year check-in, and the mid-year check-in is like, so you're still gonna try to hold on to this because I'm about to rip it off. Like you're not about to keep this. Like especially with the generational planets are very much saying fucking feelings. Uranus and Saturn are just like, no, you don't get to keep this. You don't get to keep this. It's gonna keep hurting you. Why? Why do you want to keep this anymore? What's the point? You're not happy. You're not okay. You're frustrated. It's not healthy. Why do you want to keep this? Why? What's the reason? What is the reason? To quote Cardi B, what is the reason? There is no reason. There's a lot of things happening as well when it comes to Pluto. Fun times, especially when it comes to some karmic and some past life stuff that's actively being highlighted right now. There's definitely a need for that balance. This is why you're getting that Libra energy. With the energy, it's like there's drama and things being stirred out of like the smallest things. It could be like a really small moment. It could be like a moment of jealousy. It could be like some evil eye shit. This is a really important week to make sure you're practicing protection work if you have not been, due to the fact that the energy is very chaotic, and this is a really opportune time to capitalize on, hexing or jinxing people if you wanted to, because collectively the energy is like, you know what? It's already planetary wise, the energy is already really chaotic. Everybody, you see, shadow. The energy is already really chaotic. So this is like a really good time if you wanted to like really go out of your way to hex someone. I would be plotting it for this week. I'll be looking at the transits and plotting it for this week. It's literally the perfect time to be planning something like this. You also got knowledge and courage. Because this, especially when it comes to the Leo energy, there's a sense of, okay, did you learn your lesson yet? And especially when it comes to Saturn. And y'all need to understand this. Talking about Saturn, planet of time. Bottom of the deck's literally time. When it comes to Saturn's energy, the question is, did you learn your lesson? The question is, are you going to continue the cycle of behavior? The question is when are you going to, like, stand up for yourself, right? When are you going to have that courage? When are you going to stand up for yourself? When are you going to stop letting this unbalance you the way that it has been? It's like, you have to think about like what you have been actively letting just run rancid in your life, and how you need to kind of restructure and balance your way back. And so Saturn right now and Uranus are like, okay, well, you don't want to get rid of this. So what we're going to do is just, we're going to stir up a whole bunch of drama, and you're going to be mad. You're going to be in your feelings. You're going to say some things. They're going to say some things. You're going to get caught up in these things, and then you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something. Are you going to keep holding on to the same thing? Or, like, how long are you holding on to it for? Why do you want to hold on to it? Why? Initiation. There are certain things actively, like, it's like, this is one of those times where if you've been putting off not making a decision, if you've been putting off not having a conversation, if you've been, like, giving people passes, that's really the key. If you've been giving people passes and you've just been like, you know what, but I love them, but oh my God, but blah, 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 and oh my God. If you've been doing that, this is going to be that week where it's like, no. Then we have a creator God. There's a reason why it's happening, and it's that fool's energy. It's like, and it always comes back down to intention. It always comes back down to the energy of creation. It always comes back down to, hey, you have bigger goals and dreams for yourself. You have bigger goals and dreams for yourself. You have things that you want. You have things that you've been dreaming about. You have things that you need to focus on. Why is this causing so much disruption? Why are you allowing it to cause so much disruption? Why is it a thing? Right? Because it's blocking this. Now, river. Flow of abundance is blocking that. It's blocking your flow of abundance. It's blocking certain things from happening because what's taking up space is this internalized conflict, is this frustration, is all of these damn issues is causing too much. It's too much. Offsets, alchemy, and healing. Like I said, August is going to be a trip because once we move into Virgo season, the retrogrades are going to catch up with you. That Mercury retrograde is going to be something. And then it's going to be a lot because it's like you've been putting this off, and it's like it's time. It's time to stop putting it off. It's time. You got stuff to do. It's time. It's time. You cannot continue to allow certain things to take from your peace of mind, certain things to take from your overall happiness and joy. There needs to be a focus on how you are growing, how you are moving forward within your life. And right now it's like the drama is keeping you very distracted. Feelings. The drama is keeping you very, very distracted. Free spirit. And that's kind of like that itch. That free spirit energy is that itch. And that's also that Uranus energy. There's like this itch in the back that you can't quite scratch. And it's just like, oh, I need to be doing this, but I got to be doing that. But oh my God, why are we fighting? Why are we doing this? What is happening? There's that itch that you can't scratch. Memories. Listen, Mercury retrograde is coming. We're going to be going into that pre-shadow phase. That pre-shadow phase is going to be something. It's going to be something. Especially with the inner knowing, especially with the Virgo energies that are already at play. There's definitely a lot of internal, bottom of the deck is dive deep. There's a lot of an internal process that's happening where we're trying to work through and just figure out what the medicine is, what the healing is, how the situation can be in a proper flow when it hasn't been for so long. And so you have to think about now, like, okay, the question is, how long are you going to put up with what you shouldn't be putting up with? How long are you going to put up with what you shouldn't be putting up with? How long? How long are you going to put up with what you shouldn't be putting up with? Love yourself first. It's Leo season. Leo season, for those who are not aware, when you look at the fifth house energies, Leo season rules pleasure. It is the house of fun. It's the house of pleasure. There's a reason why Leo season is like the high peak of summer. It feels like summer's winding down towards the end when it goes into Virgo season, but it is the high peak of summer. The sun is in his ruling sign. It feels fun. Leo literally rules the ego. pleasure, your inner child. Like, it's all about having fun. Like, this is the season of fun. So there is a need for you to love yourself. There's a need for you to focus on your self-care routine. If you are not focusing on your self-care routine, you are setting yourself up for failure. And we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And by the way, this is specifically when I'm talking about a lot of the ways that Pluto is doing its thing and Saturn is moving astrologically, is because there are karmic relationships and there are soulmate relationships. There are relationships that are actively waiting to take a role in your life but cannot come in because you are entertaining people, circumstances, and relationships and connections that are taking up space in your life that are not leaving you open to move into the next thing. So you do have to like reevaluate. You do have to reevaluate like how you're going to move forward, especially because, again, this is the outcome of this week. We're moving into the Fool's energy. There is a newness coming out. There's this new shift. There's a newness. There's like a, okay, well, moving on. Like, thank you, next. Okay. How are you? What is it that you're moving into next? And why are you moving into it? For some people, there is a reconciliation happening, especially with some past life situations. And for some people, there is separation happening. And again, when you watch the Aquarius moon breakdown, you'll see why. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. There is separation happening for some people. Some people are going to be navigating a separation. Some people are navigating reconciliation. If you've been doing the work, especially when it comes to your own self-care and your own attraction work, got romantic feelings, then you're going to be magnetizing. If you haven't been doing the work and you haven't been making any effort to, work through what needs to be worked through, but also to make space for what it is that you need, there's a separation happening. Bottom of the deck is retreat and calling in your soulmate. So there's definitely, like when I say there's some karmic relationship stuff happening, there's some karmic relationship stuff happening. The generational planets are moving real funny, and they're literally like knocking each other out in a way where it's stirring up a lot of conflict so that change can happen. And so with the retrogrades already, it's a lot. And with Venus retrograde, it's a lot. We have sobriety. Okay. Because some people, you're going to have to see the reality of your current situation. You're just going to have to. There are some people that are trying to be very like self-illusionary, where they're trying to give themselves like paint themselves a picture of what they think X, Y, C, and B should be. But it's like, you're a little bit delusional. Like, you need to sober up and you need to accept what the truth of the relationship is. It's part of it is that realizations and epiphanies. Like I said, there's a lot of realizations happening. There's some people who are going to have to see things from the accurate perspective. Like, if you've been trying to like convince yourself or fool yourself into believing or thinking or feeling like, hey, I think this is what it is, or I believe this is what it is, when it really it wasn't what it was, and it isn't what it isn't, and you've just been kind of trying to convince yourself that, oh, this is gonna work, or no, like making excuses, like on some toxic shit, you're going to be accepting some realizations. Like, it's almost kind of like, I can't keep continuing making these excuses. It just keeps happening over and over and over again. And at some point I gotta go. And this is why we're getting that retirement energy. There's some people who are going to be in a state of separation from their respective relationships if it's time for that separation to happen. So yeah, there's a lot happening. Take the next step now. And heavenly signs, because there is still the energy, and you guys have to understand this, when it comes to as far as the future, you shouldn't be feeling like, especially if you're going through a separation and it feels like, oh my god, this sucks, right? Sometimes, like, when you have to like end, when an ending happens, it doesn't always feel good, and we're not always prepared to kind of deal with it. But trust and believe, like, if your spirits are like, okay, it's time, you gotta let this go, you have to move on, you have to X, Y, Z, and B, there's a reason. There's a reason, and also you're also very supported. You're being supported during this time. sometimes, like, a lot of people expect their spirits, and literally this happens a lot, where they expect their spirits to just make their lives like happy and yippee all of the time. But mind you, bottom of the deck is grief work. The bottom of the deck is grief work. When I'm telling you, some people expect their spirits to be all like, oh yeah, you don't have no problems, everything's perfect. No. Like they have these weird kind of expectations when in reality it's like, you've been stuck in something and you really need to like move on if you're trying to get to the really beautiful things about your life, but you haven't decided to let it go, so we're still kind of stuck here. So the second you decide to stop being stuck here, okay, we've been trying to send you signs, we've been trying to send you messages, we've been trying to tell you, but you don't want to accept it. So because you don't want to accept it, it's going to happen in this really weird, rough way, and you're not going to like it. But it's like, once you move up past that point, you're going to be fine. It's like some people expect their spirits just to keep them in this state of beautiful limbo all the time, when it's in reality, you still have a life to live. Okay, you still have a life to live. And if you've been getting clear messages from your spirits, clear messages from your ancestors, clear messages from your angels, that it's just like straight up like, oh, you're going to go through a separation. Or this week, some shit's about to go down. Brace yourself. It's happening. Don't be delusional about it when it's happening. Don't allow yourself to be delusional. Like, it's all cute and dandy, okay, when you don't have like Neptune and Saturn in retrograde in Pisces. It's all cute and dandy when you're not dealing with Pisces energy being, in retrograde. It's cute and dandy, but when it's in retrograde, it's like, okay, time to wake up now. It's time to wake up now, because what the hell are you doing? What the hell is the point? What the hell is the point? So at this point in time, it's time to get it the fuck together. Like, on some real shit, it's time to get it together. It's time to take responsibility. It's time to accept the signs. Okay. And it's time to figure out how you're gonna move forward. What is it that you want? Hold on. Here comes Archangel Michael about to troll. Watch Archangel Michael about to troll this whole entire reading, because that's literally every time I whip out his deck, it's like troll season. Every time. They ain't no other time where Archangel Michael doesn't say, it's time. What do we need to know this week? Whoa. Okay, now I'm just getting attacked. Hold on. Okay. That was a lot of cards. Okay. 1. Let go of fear. Now, this is also why we're getting the courage card, by the way. Let me just whip it out again. There we go. Let go of fear now. This is why we're getting the courage card from Archangel Michael. Okay. It's Leo season. Leo's it's tied to that courage. It's because it's tied to your willpower. Leos literally rule your ego, your willpower, okay? Your inner child. It's tied to your courage. It's tied to what you want to will into this world. So when it comes to fear, what is it that you're so afraid of? And it's probably going to be tied to losing something that you're very much fixed in, because Leo's, it's the whole energy of Leo is fixed energy. It's fixed sign, right? And fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, they don't like change. They don't. Especially Leo and Taurus. Aquarius and Scorpio can't really escape change, because Aquarius is tied to the future due to the fact that one is co-ruled by Saturn, which is a planet of time, but also Uranus is a futuristic planet. But also, Uranus is a planet of unexpected change and chaos, so it can't expect to be fixed all of the time. Scorpio is ruled by the planet of death and transformation, and co-ruled by Mars, the planet of passion. So it cannot, while it is a fixed sign in nature, it cannot expect to be fixed all of the time. Both of those signs eventually have to move into transformative, like they go through transformative processes. But Leo and Taurus, they stay being cute and comfortable, but they can stay cute and comfortable in really toxic shit. Leos are notorious for being stuck in very toxic relationships. And Tauruses are also very much well known for keeping relationships and situations, people around who are just not good for them, who are just really, really like, they don't bring anything good to the table. And so when it comes to the energy of courage and when it comes to using the energy in a very healthy way, you have to understand why you feel the need to gravitate towards, you know, especially how you're tapping into your own willpower. What is it that you want to do? Like, think about it. At the end of the day, in whatever situation you're in whatever argument you're having, in whatever situation, like, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? Think about it. What do you want? What do you want? And when you answer what you want, you have to think about, okay, what do you have the courage to fight for? That is the question. What do you have the courage to fight for? What are you so afraid of? What is it that you're so afraid of? Okay. And so as you kind of navigate a lot of your deeper like fears, you need to revisit what you're willing to do moving forward. And this is when it's like, let go of fear now, because how are you moving forward from this energy? What do you expect moving forward from this energy? What do you expect? What do you expect? One of the things that I said during Cancer season, moving into Leo season, is, and I say this every year because for some reason it bears repeating every year. Whatever you don't heal, don't handle emotionally in Cancer season, you're going to have to deal with in Leo season, and it will impact how you enjoy Leo season. Because again, Leo season is the funnest season of the year. So if you're not having fun during Leo season, there is something wrong. There is something wrong. There is something wrong. Okay. A favorable outcome and and a sense of humor. Because this is the season of fun. You're supposed to be having fun. If you're not prioritizing having a good time during Leo season, if you haven't had a moment of good time as of right now, like we're about to go into August, literally in a few hours. If you have not, as of yet, started feeling better or having a good time, and there's still like all of this density and like weight, there's a problem, because this is the funnest season of the year. Virgo season does not compare. Libra season doesn't even compare to how fun Leo season is. So if you're not having fun right now, it's a problem. And you need to be prioritizing your sense of fun, your sense of pleasure, okay? And you also need to accept the fact that when it comes to moving into the future, everything's gonna be fine. This is why the favorable outcome energy is coming out. Everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. Everybody will be fine. But you need to it's a putting yourself first right now and making sure you're okay. This is why we're getting the be gentle with yourself. Self-care is the most important thing you can be doing right now. Self-care. When you're doing self-care, it's going to push you into that sobriety and into these realizations, especially as we continue to move into like August, and then Mercury retrograde comes through, and then all of a sudden you're having all of these like mental breakthroughs, and you're like, oh my God. And then, yeah, you need to make sure that you are actively prioritizing your self-care. Okay, prioritizing your self-care, because this is the season. This is not the season to be hyper fixating on X, Y, Z, and B. This is the season for you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. How you're feeling, how you're processing things, what you need, what's going on. Like, please, please, please. If you don't prioritize yourself, okay, then you're going to be feeling like straight up shit. And you're also going to feel like whoever you're waiting for to treat you the way that you need to be treated it's like, it's not going to hit right because you're not even giving that energy to yourself. You're waiting for that to happen, and it's not enough. It's not enough. You have to be really mindful about your own needs. You have to be really mindful about how you want to move forward and your own feelings. If you're literally putting yourself second, third, fourth, fifth to everybody else, you're going to be very unhappy. And at the end of the day, how are you going to look forward to the future if you don't even spend enough time with yourself to figure out what you need? Like, please. How are you going to be looking forward to the future if you are putting all of your weight on somebody else? If it takes entirely somebody else to make you feel better. How? Please explain. Please. I would love to know. Our deck is present moment. Because it is. It's time to be in the present. Y'all, please enjoy the summer. Okay? Please. I know it's been hella hot. It's been humid. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of things. We got home. Mercy. Marriage. Blessings. And we also have the father energy coming out. Some of you guys are dealing with like also some ancestral issues. And some of your ancestral issues, you would be surprised how some ancestral issues, especially when it comes to like marriage and your relationships, you could literally have ancestral love trauma that you end up attracting. And that if on a soul level, you have similar issues like that you need to work through, it ends up being a 2-for-1 kind of issue. Like it's an ancestral issue, but it's also a soul issue, and you're trying to navigate that issue. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. Virgo season is gonna be a trip, y'all. When I'm telling you, I'm not looking forward to September because energetically, I already saw the chart. I already know what it's looking at, and September is gonna be something. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be something, but it's just it's all about medicine. It's all about like, hey, what do you need? What is it that you need? What do you need? What are you making room for? And why aren't you making room for the goodness that you're trying to bring in? A lot of you have so many really big dreams, but then it's like you hyperfixate on like the other things in your life that you want to ground, and you're like, if they don't let themselves ground themselves in your life, it's like, why are you still fighting it so much? It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that complicated. Especially when it comes to like relationships. It doesn't always have to be a battle zone. It doesn't always have to be a battlefield. It doesn't always have to be that. Like, certain things are meant to be easy. Certain things are meant to be easy. It's kind of like, think about it. Like, if you were to buy a brand new computer, you start using it, and literally the first weekend is having these problems, and then the whole time you have a whole year warranty, right? And you have this whole year, all of a sudden every month it's just having issues to issues to issues. All of a sudden more issues happening, and the keys are getting stuck. It's this and that, and you just keep making excuses not to take it in to go, get a new one, because the warranty and blah blah. I'm gonna have to go through that to get a new one, even though you're very much entitled to getting a new one because it was supposed to be working the way that it was supposed to be working. So instead of something being a blessing, it's all of a sudden is an annoyance. It's something that you have to keep dealing with. It's something that you have to still be navigating. It's like, instead of addressing the issues and fixing the issues head on, it turns into a drag. It turns into a like, oh, I hope it's going to work today. I hope this is not going to happen today. And this is literally how some of you guys are navigating some of your relationships. You guys are choosing to have these like excuses. It's a bunch of excuses. And my question is like, are you happy? Are you happy? This is Leo season. It's literally a season of freaking joy, pleasure, fun. It's a good time. Leo season is a good time. If you're not happy in Leo season, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So you tell me, why aren't you happy? For some of you, it's going to manifest as real love. For some of you, you need to respect and love yourself enough to put yourself first. This is why the love yourself first energy is coming out. Some of you need to stop giving so much of yourselves to people who won't give you even a quarter or 10% of what you're giving them. And some of you need to stop grounding yourself in places that you should have never grounded yourself in the first place. And you knew. You definitely knew, but you did it anyway. And here we are. Needing to sober up. Okay? You know that Beyonce song where she's like drunk in love? It's not always a good thing. Because when you're intoxicated, you're moving through your subconsciousness. That's Pisces energy. The subconscious is a very murky place. You don't ground in your subconscious at all. Like it's water. It's water energy. So when it comes to like those moments where we're having fun, but then it's just like you're intoxicated, it's different than you having actual pleasure when you're conscious, because when you're conscious, you're fully aware of everything that's happening in the moment, versus when you're in your subconscious, when you're intoxicated, when you're in a different mindset, your body is being triggered into its subconscious, into feeling and vibing itself differently than you would have been if you were sober. And so for some of you, you guys get lost in these moments where you're connecting with people in the subconscious, but when it's time to be in conscious with them, when it's time to be focused and grounded, it doesn't exist, because it can only function in a space where they are not always present. There's a part of them that it's just in this ebb and flow of fluidity when it comes to the element of water. And so why would you want to ground yourself in that? And why would you want to fight for that when you know that it's not grounding enough? It's not going to help you. It's not going to stabilize. It's not going to become anything, because it lives in this alternate subconscious universe where it can only be fluid and flow fluidly when it's in this like intoxicating way. And so this is why we're getting like this sobriety card. It's like, hey, you need to see things clearly. You need to accept things clearly. You can't just sit here and continue to pretend like you're not ignoring red flags time and time again. You can't just continue to pretend like you're not ignoring the red flags. Especially because, like, you know better. This is why we're also getting the knowledge card. It's like, hey, you know better. You need to have the courage to act on what you know, because you already know. It's like you have a whole bunch of receipts on somebody and you're still, like, entertaining them. But you know better. But you're still choosing to entertain them for whatever the hell reason. Like, and I get it, because, you know, there's some connections that are just, like, on some drunken love stuff, but you're blocking your blessings though. You're blocking your fun, you're blocking your pleasure, you're blocking your own joy. And it's stopping you from loving yourself properly, because if you were to love yourself truly, and if you were honest with yourself, you would accept that the truth of the situation. Because your intuition didn't lie. Your intuition didn't lie. Your intuition didn't lie. Like, bottom of the deck, your intuition never lied. You know better. You just don't want to accept it. It's so, this week is going to be a little chaotic. And the generational planets are on some fuck your feelings. This is getting ripped out of you. We're ending this because you don't want to end this. So we're just going to stir up a whole bunch of chaos. And it's going to get messy. It's going to get a little messy. But it's going to trigger your journey. It's going to trigger your journey in a way that it needed to be triggered for a while now. You might not like it entirely, but it's what you need. It's a very trust the process week. It's a trust the process week. Like, and listen, Spirit's like, hey, everything's gonna be fine. It's a favorable outcome. Like, things will be okay. It might seem like all over the place. It might seem like, it might seem like a lot, but everything's gonna be fine. Trust the process. It's one of those times where, especially when it comes to working with Spirit, if you're going through it and Spirit's like, no, we got you. We got you. But then you're still going through it and it's like heavy. It's a lot. It's like a lot and it feels like a lot. It's like, oh my God, but I'm going through it. And Spirit's like, no, we got you. You're going to be fine. And you're just like, but I don't feel fine. What do you mean? It's a trust the process week. It's very much a trust the process week. And this moon, it's going to be triggering a lot of things. So love yourself first. That is the first and best and the easiest thing that I can tell you guys. Like, love yourself first. It's so important for you to hyperfixate on yourself for a little bit. Love yourself. Vibe with yourself. Like, some of y'all really need to learn how to block people. Some of y'all really need to learn how to leave people blocked. Because some of y'all don't be blocking people properly. Like, and when I say blocking people properly, like, and this is on me, my Venus is in Aquarius, y'all, okay? So, and I've talked about this before when I tell you, like, when it comes to me in certain relationships, even friends, ex-friends, ex-people, whatever, like, if I block you, if I take you out of my life, you don't exist to me anymore. I don't recall. I completely pushed you out of my mind. You're gone. You're not up here. You's gone. You left. There's no space up here. I'm not giving you any more space. That's why you're blocked. There's that. I created that boundary because I don't want you to become a shadow that's just consistently haunting me for absolutely no reason. Like, you stop existing to me. My Venus in Aquarius, it stays being like clutch, though. I'm not gonna lie. It can be used in toxic ways. I'm not saying it can't, but when I tell you I use my Venus in Aquarius energy as a way of not only loving myself more by reclaiming my time. Y'all need to remember, whole stellium is in Capricorn, right? And then having a Venus in Aquarius, so it's like I have a lot of Saturn energy, and I don't like wasting time. It's just not my thing. We don't do that here. So for me, it's like, you stop existing. I blocked you. You're not in my life anymore. You don't exist. You don't exist. This is easier to do if you're working with Aquarius placements. Or even Capricorn placements is easier to do because Capricorns don't like wasting time. We just don't do that. But some of the other signs, y'all like to linger, especially the water signs. Y'all like to linger. Y'all like to sit in it for like months. I don't have the patience for that. I don't need to be haunted by stuff. For what? For what? For what? What was the reason? I could be doing other things with my time. And that's kind of the key. You have to think about when you're loving yourself and when you're prioritizing your self-care, you need to think about what you're giving your energy to, how you're spending your energy. If you're turning certain people into like your shadow, where it's just like, oh, you're constantly just haunted by them, why are you allowing them to do that? Why are they taking up so much time up here? Did you heal it properly? Have you released it properly? Did you say what you needed to say? Or are you leaving windows and pockets of opportunity for you to like regret something later? Like, say what you need to say and move on. Ain't nobody trying to sit here and be sulking and sitting on the energy forever. especially because I'm not a Pisces. I'm not about to do all that shit. But I can't do it. I can't do it. If you're gonna choose to love yourself, when you're choosing you, you have to choose your mental health. You have to choose your emotional health. You have to choose your physical health. You have to choose your spiritual health. And if all of those your spiritual, physical, mental, emotional bodies are telling you like, hey, you need to let this go, you need to heal from this, you need to like, this has to like exit out of your life, and you're still like, oh, but I want to keep this person around, blah, blah, blah. Why? Like, your own knowledge, your own body is telling you to repel this person, and you're still entertaining it. Like, why? Okay. I'm a Cap, but I can't help by lingering sometimes. It really depends on your placements, boo. You could be a Capricorn, but your other placements could be on some mutable energies, and then all of a sudden you lingering. It really depends. It depends on your other placements. Your sun in Capricorn doesn't dictate the rest of how you love, how you think, how you feel. It doesn't dictate the rest of your chart. It's your sun in Capricorn is your ego. So me being a sun in Capricorn, this is my ego. It's my willpower, my inner child. This is who I am at my core. But I have a Capricorn stellium. So I have 5 planets in Capricorn. So generally, I'm more of a Capricorn than someone that would have just one planet in Capricorn. Like, oh, their sun sign is in Capricorn, but everything else is like in Sagittarius or in Aquarius, and they're more of an Aquarius than they are a Capricorn in many ways, based on the energy. So when it comes to navigating Capricorn energy, Saturn energy, Aquarius energy, depending on what you have in your chart, it can dictate how you're processing certain things. For me, it's a lot easier for me to process communication and mental stuff because of my Venus in Aquarius. I have a lot of air, water, and earth in my chart. So I'm able to really process certain things where other people, if they have a lot of water in their chart, they have a lot of Pisces, Cancer, even Scorpio sometimes, it makes it harder for them to let go certain things. Like, it makes it harder for them to process certain things. It just like, it drags. It drags a lot longer. It's like it just drags, like, for no reason. It drags. Aquarius placements are clutch though. When they're not being used in a toxic way, they're clutch because the air elements, they're able to really move on from things faster than all of the other signs because they're air, they're more mental. So once they make a mental decision, it's like, oh, that's it, that's what it is. But the other placements that you could have change the way that you process certain things. So that comes into account. So yeah, it's not just about being your sun in Capricorn. Trust me. It's not. But with that being said, that was the weekly healing circle, y'all. I know it was a lot. It was a lot of messages. But this week is going to be a lot. So make sure you're prioritizing your self-care. If you haven't planned on doing something for yourself this week, why? Please do something for yourself. Plan something. Do a movie by yourself. Read a book. Like, listen to, like, watch your favorite movie. Do something for yourself this week. Please. Prioritize your own mental health. Your own, like, go on a date with yourself. It's one of my favorite things to do. I would do this in the city all of the time. My favorite place in New York City is Soho. So I would spend a lot of time in Soho just walking around. I would go to yoga. I would go to one of my favorite restaurants. I would, I had my tea spot. I had all of the spots. Like, I would just go on literal weekly dates with myself. And it was fun because I was super, at that point, I was just like really healthy, doing my thing. Like, I had my flow. Like, I was just really, really happy with myself. I mean, I'm still happy now, but still. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I don't live in New York anymore, so it's like a little trickier for me to do it. But it was one of those times where I was just like in this beautiful flow with myself, where I just did everything that I did was just like, it came very naturally. It was just this beautiful flow. And I knew exactly what I needed, why I needed what I was doing. I became really super flexible during that time. I still think that time because I became really flexible, especially when it comes to yoga. Like, I became really, really flexible, which is one of my goals when I came to yoga at that period of time. I was just like in this beautiful, beautiful relationship with myself. I still am. But I always say prioritize your own relationship with yourself first. It's so important for you to not negate that to yourself, because sometimes treating yourself the right way is going to not only make you prioritize how you need to be treated, but it's going to help you set boundaries for future relationships where, you know, where you can, you know, do the thing. Where can I replay this? Please upload. I need to rehear it. So the weekly healing circle lives are on YouTube. So if you go on the link in my bio, you're going to find my my YouTube will be linked there. There's 2 of my YouTubes that are linked there. So I have a second channel now, which is called the Science Library, which, by the way, go follow it, go subscribe. That's just like my nerdy channel, but for my main channel, which is the OkaniLuna YouTube channel, all of the lives, so I have it on YouTube. So YouTube is over here, TikTok's over here. TikTok doesn't let me like post the lives afterwards, but YouTube does. So if you wanted to replay this live, you can go on my YouTube and the link will be in my bio. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, I would spend a lot of time just like with myself. And I loved it. And I would take trips with myself. You know how people are always like, oh, especially the people, like, I was always the person that would travel a lot by myself. And then my friends would be like, oh my God, I want to go with you here, blah, blah. And then they would never buy the ticket or whatever. And so I would just leave without them. And then later they'd be like commenting on my page like, oh my God, you went without me, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not going to wait for you. You either coming with me or you're going to stay home. And I'm going to go and have a great ass time, because I'm not going to stay because you haven't bought your ticket. Like, I'm always the person that I will go spend time with myself. It sounds fun. Why not? Why not? Loving yourself. This is the perfect season for you to feel happy and comfortable, especially because this fall to winter is going to be a little rough astrologically, y'all. So, like, when I tell you, it's a really good time to just have a nice, cute little relationship with yourself before some shit hits the fan, energetically and spiritually and emotionally. It's a really good time with all the retrogrades to kind of just spend some time with yourself, do some healing, revisit, and you know, move on from some stuff. Like, trust the process. But y'all need to love on yourself just a little bit more throughout this period of time for your own mental health. Okay. Anyway, so that was the weekly healing circle. We're gonna do something for Lionsgate, so stay tuned for that. Especially for those who are on YouTube, you guys are gonna see an update on that soon. But I will keep you guys posted on all the things. But I love you guys. And I will be posting the Moon in Aquarius video tonight, so you guys will get that probably in the next 30 minutes. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I love you guys. Bye. Have a good night.